is music training in young children. So on the slides, you can see the main studies I used. So the first one compared a group of children who have not received training in music and a group of children who have, and it showed better performance on memory retrieval tasks and increased activation of areas of the brain related to attention control during the initial learning of information. And then the second one is about children who are separated into four groups: a small class size with music training, a large class size, another small class size, and a small class size with training in attention skills. All groups except the large class size saw improvements in nonverbal IQ and spatial and numeracy cognition. And then the last study was about a group of children receiving music training for 15 months that had regional structural changes in areas of the brain related to motor and auditory functions. This plasticity correlated with better performance on melodic and rhythmic tests, but there were no far transverse effects observed. And then this leads into critical and sensitive periods. An important aspect to consider while studying the impact of music training is critical and sensitive periods. A critical period is a strict period where training alters performance and is essential for development. And then in contrast, the sensitive period is time where training on the brain has strong effects. It can cause changes in connectivity patterns because the basic structure of the brain neural circuits is developed. So one is a lot more stronger and permanent than the other. And then this leads into factors researchers have not considered in these studies. There are many factors that would need to be isolated and controlled for in order to determine whether there is a causation relationship between music training and improved cognition. A lot of these studies, not enough was controlled for, so we only can develop like a correlation conclusion, not a definite causation. So three main factors were genetic disposition. Children with certain structural differences are more predisposed to be musicians and motivated to learn music. And then the second factor was social status and family background. Families with higher socioeconomic status, higher education have a higher probability that their children will get access to music education. And the third factor was reward value. Because dopamine plays an important role in long-term memory foundation, um, thus a positive and rewarding experience could promote more training, leading to brain plasticity. But a stressful and negative experience creates a memory that associates music training with stress. And it has been shown that a negative reward has a negative impact on learning and memory and impairs performance. So these factors um, could, if these factors were controlled for, they could potentially show a causation relationship. And then music on cognitive development. To define cognitive development, it's the development of intellectual process and abilities such as thinking and reasoning. Um, to see improvement in cognitive development, researchers measure the impact of music training on transfer effects, which are training in music that leads to enhancement of skills in areas outside of music. So there's a diagram of different far and near transfer effects on the right. If you can see that the middle of the oval are factors that influence music training, outside that ring are near transfer effects, which are skills closely related to music training. And the outer ring are far transfer effects, which are skills dissimilar from music training. There is much evidence of near transfer, but however, there is limited evidence of far transfer skills because it's different. It's difficult to determine a resemblance between music's training and far transfer skills. And then talking about brain plasticity, um, it also measures cognitive development as the change are evidence of improvement, and brain plasticity is correlated with years of training and age of commencement. In the studies, um, especially after 15 months, the group that received training had a greater relative voxel size in motor areas, similar to plastic changes in professional musicians in the Hyde et al. Study. And then this all has an effect on education and learning because due to brain plasticity and music training, they have both near and far transfer effects, and music training could enhance other learning domains, improving learning and the overall education experience. And then to conclude, a causation relationship could not be determined due to the important aspects of the experiments that were not controlled for. And then the factors I listed out before. There is a correlation between music training in young children and improvement of cognitive development, evident through brain plasticity and the transfer effects I was talking about. If more variables in the study can be controlled for in the future, researchers can determine a causation relationship, and this relationship can help children improve cognitive abilities that will benefit them for a life full of learning.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Carolyn. That was an excellent presentation based off of an excellent paper. We were very impressed at Lil, and we know that your audience is too. Thank you so much. All right, next we will hear from Dora Chen. You can unshare your screen if you like. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just pull up my slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you guys all see this?
Yes, it looks great. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So welcome to the Justice Blueprint. I actually just got home from delivering donuts for our organization, so I'm glad I made it on time. Okay, so first I just wanted to say a big thank you to Lil and Maya for allowing me to come and present my project. I think I'm very proud of what it has become so far, and recently, with a lot of Maya's help, as well as just my team in general, we've been able to really further our initiatives, and I'm excited to share all that with you today. So first, I'll tell you guys a little bit about who I am, then we can move on to what everyone really is here for, which is the Justice Blueprint. I'll talk more in depth about one of our projects, the blueprints, our current impact, the process, and lastly, current opportunities and what our future vision is and where we see this project going. All right, first, a little bit about me. So I'm currently in grade 11 at the Bishop Strachan School, and I absolutely love law. If I'm being completely honest, part of it is because I love debate and arguing, but part of it is the TV shows that I've watched, and the other part comes from the experiences I've been so lucky enough to have. Let's start with the top photo. This was taken in my dorm of the School of the New York Times. It was very beautiful. I had the top dorm, top floor, but the elevators were incredibly slow there. Here I did a pre-law program, and I got to work with law firms to learn more about the public defender system in the States. And the photo under that is also of the School of the New York Times, and it's just my friends and I catching up on some law homework reading in the courtyard. I also attended Columbia University summer pre-law program, and that was amazing as well. I learned all about thinking like a lawyer and all about that. You can't tell I really, really love New York. And the last photo there on the side is of my closing speech as the Undersecretary of Committee Affairs at my school's Model UN conference. So I really, really love debate. I was honored to have been a finalist at Hart House, and I'm also currently interning at a law firm with a co-op program at my school. So all of this, kind of my love for law and my passion for debate and Model UN, is kind of what really manifested me to think about what I can do for my community with my skills and my passion and my interests. And that's kind of how the Justice Blueprint was born almost a year ago now, which is crazy to think about. So let's talk about first the Justice Blueprint. What are we? Who are we? What do we do? So we are a federally registered student-run nonprofit organization that aims to close the gap in legal knowledge. I think the law is all around us. You know, it's in the breakfast table in the morning. Your food is regulated under the FDI, or the music you listen to, it's protected under IP law. So it really, really controls how all of us live inside society and in our community. And so I think it is crucial then for everyone to be aware of the rights that you have. And the Justice Blueprint really hopes to assist you in learning more about the law. Because I think the law is a privilege for a lot of people who sometimes do not have access to the complicated legal jargon inside, say, court decisions, or even just knowing the actual rights that they hold as an individual in society. So currently, I'm proud and honored to lead an executive team of 11, but I think it's 14 now, and a growing team of chapter heads. And our first initiative is that we partner with local law firms and experts that guide us on how to approach certain topics. So we tackle this kind of legal knowledge gap with our blueprints, which I'll talk a little bit about in the next slide. But to do so, we partner with law firms for them to help us through our legal research, and then we write that blueprint, and through initiatives like our donut sales that we've been doing for the past week or so, which I think right now we've sold upwards of $2,500 of donuts in revenue. And so we take that money and we're hoping to be able to print our actual blueprints for these libraries and community centers that would love to have them. So a little bit more in depth about what our blueprints are. The law is very complicated and can be confusing, which amongst a lot of other reasons deter people learning about their rights. And we find that out of those people, many tend to be high school students, whether they're just too busy, there's too much going on, or they just don't want to learn about it. But again, like, it is very important that every individual knows about their rights. So our blueprints are short manuals that break down complex law into digestible legal information. If you scan the QR code on the side, you'll get access to our blueprint. Or if you just type in thejusticeblueprint.com on Google, you can go on our website and look at it. So here we really talked about all of the things about consent law. So we talked about case law, we talked about important landmark Supreme Court cases, and kind of what the general scope of the law is in Canada. And the very big overarching theme in all of our blueprints and our mission is that it is written by high school students for high school students. And so what this means is that the language is very understandable, it's very digestible, and for our audience, it's a lot easier for them to understand than per se trying to do research themselves and looking at the very complex and dense legal documents. And so again, we've partnered with the local experts and law firms, and they've edited our entire blueprint to make sure that it's up to par and that we have the right information. And then we distribute this throughout the community at the local community boards, libraries, community centers, shelters, and more. So we kind of just share that with all the platforms. Specifically, like one of our schools, St. Mike's, they've been very well received of our blueprints. Like, they wanted us to go in and do a conference. So I just told my chapter head that he can go and do the conference because we're all a little too busy with school right now. So let's talk a little bit about our impact. Again, recently we have released our first blueprint on consent, and you can download this through our website, thejusticeblueprint.com, or on our Instagram at thejusticeblueprint. It has been very positively received, and we are also set to release in libraries across Toronto, community centers, and shelters, including women's shelters like the Second Chance Foundation, as well as Red Door Family Shelter. We're lucky enough that they've said yes to having our blueprints in their shelters. Another thing here is that our upcoming events, or like it's current, we have a partnership with Krispy Kreme donut sales, and we've been doing this across the chapters. As you can see, the UCC was our first one just this past Monday. We've done Crescent, we've done our school BSS, and we've done St. Mike's, and right now Crescent is doing a Model UN conference, so we're also set up there. And we're also set out to do 2 more schools, Havergal and Branksome. So the whole reason we're raising funds for this is for us to have enough funds to host a really big gala in the fall, which is a really big goal that we've been working towards for a long time. In this gala, we want to bring in keynote speakers. We want to do silent auctions. We want to give opportunities to student performers in our community for them to be able to showcase their talents. So I think this gala is just a win-win for everybody. And to do that, obviously, it's going to take a lot of funds. We're going to do our donut sales that we've been doing, as well as hosting semi-formals, as well as little social gatherings for high school students across Toronto. And I think the very important thing, key aspect here is also just promoting this notion that you can have fun while being safe, which is kind of what we're all about, considering I think it's something that affects every single high school student in Toronto, in Canada, and over the. So a little bit about our process. I think we just started by first brainstorming, and here I just made sure that I knew the broad scope of what I wanted to do. And for what I wanted, it was to be law. And I found it helpful to just take the first step and get the ball rolling, make a name, start an Instagram account. After this, I knew I needed a trusted team around me. And so for my executive team, I appointed people. But then after that, like executives and chapter heads, I opened up the application to the community, and I decided based on that with my team. After you have your team, you have your idea. All you need to do is take action and do all the things that you have planned to do in your brainstorm stage. Current opportunities. We're always looking for new chapter heads. I think this is an amazing opportunity for you as a chapter head because you're able to bring all of these new initiatives to your school. And also we're a very, very open organization. So if any chapter head has any ideas or initiatives, they feel free. And we kind of discuss that in our monthly meetings or whenever we need to have a meeting. And they're also able to have their voice heard. So I think that's a really great opportunity. And of course, it's great for us because this allows us to reach a greater amount of people and more scope. So if you're interested, just scan the QR code, or you can also go on our website at thejusticeblueprint.com and contact us there. Here's our website, our Instagram, and our email too, if you have any questions. Thank you.
Would you mind leaving that up for a second, Dora? So anybody who wants to can copy it down. Excellent. Screenshots are also welcome. Feel free. Okay, thank you, Dora.
No problem. Thank you so much.
That was a wonderful presentation. I'm both wanting donuts and thinking about my rights. So I think your effect, I can see it working. Okay. So next we're going to hear from Taili Gao.
Thank you, and let me just pull my slideshow up.
Take your time.
Okay, I hope everyone can see this okay, like can see all the corners. Okay, thank you. And my student project is actually pretty similar to the Justice Blueprint, which you probably just heard about. But while we don't have blueprints and we don't have law, we do have a journal that's focused on biology. So I want to talk a little bit about Mutation, which is a global student-led biology journal that I started last year. Okay, so today I'll just be giving a brief overview of our goals, what we've done, our platform, and what we've accomplished, and also how you can join us at the end. So what is Mutation? Mutation Biology Journal is a student-led global initiative dedicated to increasing awareness of genetic diseases and promoting the expansion of biology education. And we aim to foster a community of passionate individuals committed to advancing the understanding of biology and expanding its reach. So how we do that is mainly just by publishing issues quarterly, and we also have special edition issues, which are usually holiday themed or topic themed. So in February, around Valentine's Day, we had an issue that was just focused on the biology of love. So in that issue, we talked about love hormones, and also we discussed floral formulas, which are formulas that you can use to convey a message about a flower's anatomy. And our website is also linked here. It's www.mutationbiologyjournal.org. and you can go on that website to check out our issues and also just learn more about our mission. So our team is really diverse, and we have passionate students from all over the world with a common interest in biology. And we currently have members from 5 countries and 15 cities. And these countries include the US, Malaysia, New Zealand, Canada, and China. So we really hope to bring in new voices from all over the world and to really unite people who all love biology and are willing to contribute. And if you want to learn more about each of our individuals, you can do that on our website /who we are. And most of us have a bio that you can read and learn more about us. And a little bit about me, I founded Mutation last year, and that is really inspired by my love of learning biology. And I have participated in several biology competitions that included the USA Biology Olympiad, the British Biology Olympiad, and I also work on a synthetic biology project at MIT. And really, the purpose of Mutation is that I hope to provide more resources and a platform for other passionate students to share what they're learning, and also for people who might not have that much experience but want to start learning to also have a chance to learn through reading the articles that other students have written. And it really is making biology more accessible because you see a lot of journals out there that are really meant for a more professional audience. And the traditional structure that they use to write the articles are usually pretty hard to understand, and it's just a lot to handle. So we try to move beyond that and create something that is more accessible and easier to understand. So looking at our accomplishments, our first issue was published in January of this year. So you can see a sample of our issues on the right here. The second one was published around Valentine's Day in February. And that one, as we've talked about, we focused on love hormones and also floral formulas. And each of our issue has reached hundreds of views on our website, and our April issue is coming out at the end of this month. So feel free to check it out later this month, and it'll be published also on our website. And if this is something that interests you, we have good news. We are currently recruiting students to join our administrative team. And if you're interested, you can fill out a Google form to apply, and it's bit.ly/mutation journals. This Google form is also linked on our website, and you also have an opportunity to join our mailing list or ask us any questions on our website. And we have a variety of roles open, and really you don't need any experience to join us. We're just looking for students to contribute, and if you have experience, then feel free, but if you don't, that's still okay. And we have a lot of students who joined without prior experience in the field, but have learned a lot through our journal. And a lot of questions I get asked is what happened after you apply. So after you apply, we'll send you an email at the end of the week that you applied with your accepted positions and the next steps you'll take. And this usually includes joining our group server on Discord and writing a short biography about yourself for our website. And then we'll share more resources with you on how to write your article or how to contribute in other ways that fit your position. And if this is not something you're interested right now, but you want to learn more or you want to read our articles, then you can always follow us on our social media. And we will share all of our updates and announcements on our social media accounts. And that includes Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And we also have an LinkedIn account, but we don't really share our updates on there. So the three social media that we do post are the first three. And I didn't include the link for Facebook because that one is way too long and no one will want to type all that in their browser. So you can just search out the username and it should pop up. And as always, feel free to email us via this email with any questions, and we'll always reply within 24 hours. And if we don't, then feel free to send us a follow-up because sometimes we don't know who is replying to which email, so it gets a little bit confusing, but we'll sort it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you for listening to my presentations. And hopefully you'll also get a chance to listen to the other great presentations later today.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation about a wonderful journal. I don't think I got the chance to tell you, but I love the design. I think it's incredible. It's different from a lot of student journals. Amazing
you.
job. Amazing job. Thank you so much, Taili.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now we're going to hear from Zhang. See. Oh, actually, William Zhang. There you are. Hello.
Okay, hello. How's everyone doing? Let me just pull up my presentation really quick.
And if you could turn up your volume for us too, that'd be amazing.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, there you are.
Here. Is this better?
Perfect.
Okay, great. Hello everyone. I'm William, and today I'll be presenting to you two projects. So the first is my current research, Wheelie. It's a wheeled-like quadrupedal robot, and the second will be MICE, Massachusetts Artificial Intelligence Conference for high schoolers. So first, this is my already published paper, published by IEEE, the first author, Wheelie, an accessible platform for experimenting with wheeled-like quadrupedal robots. So the aim of my research was to A, design an accessible, low-cost wheeled-like quadrupedal robot. B, to facilitate the proliferation of hybrid mobility technologies. And C, provide a platform for experimenting with wheeled and legged locomotion. So literature review. This is just like the brief, like condensed version. So I identified two main things. There is a lack of affordable, accessible hybrid robots compared to the high-cost models like Animal and Robocity. So this is the niche for Wheelie. Wheelie is in a unique position to provide a low-cost alternative for low-risk research and development. So methodology, design and build utilize economic servo motors, stepper motors, and a 3D printed frame to create a simplistic and low-cost build. So control system, I used a Raspberry Pi and Arduino for locomotion control using open loop gates and Bezier curves. Simulation training, I conducted experiments in a simulated environment using PyBullet to test mobility and obstacle navigation. So here's the general design of Wheelie. Yeah, so as you can see on the left, we have a general view, and on the right, we have front and side view with the dimensions of Wheelie. Wheelie is quite small, about the size of a basketball. Yeah. So here are its results with the open loop gates. Yeah, so as you can see, it is able to clear stairs of up to 5 centimeters while using leg locomotion. While using wheeled locomotion, it's 2 centimeters. And as you can see on the right, body height percentage, it can clear 25% of its body height using leg and 10% for wheeled. On the bottom, you can see its speed. So when using leg locomotion, it is a lot slower compared to wheeled. So this is just showing the kind of the trade-offs. So for leg, you have more clearance height. Oh, sorry, with more clearance height, but with wheeled, you have greater speed and also greater energy efficiency. So watts per meter. So here are some of the results for energy efficiency. On the left, you see sum of wheeled and leg torque over 1 minute. And on the right, it's histogram of total torque over time for wheeled and leg locomotion. As well as on the bottom, it is a zoomed in view of the leg locomotion torque. So this is on the left is just like the total energy consumption of the robot. On the right is the distribution of energy consumption. So at a specific time, the robot consumes different amounts of energy. On the right, you can see like the different amounts that it consumes over time. And on the bottom is just a zoomed in view of this graph on the left, showing that you can see there's like plateaus and peaks and troughs, etc. in the gait as it loops. So conclusions, technological advancement really marks a significant advancement in making wheeled leg robots more accessible, and innovation potential. By using Wheelie, I seek to provide a low-risk testing platform, which is critical to future innovation. So allowing researchers to experiment with greater freedom, greater freedom, allowing them to get more research done. So now this is my current project, Wheelie, supervised learning for online selection of blind deep reinforcement learning policies to allow robust, specialized gait patterns. Oh boy, that was a mouthful. So our aim is to use deep reinforcement learning to create robust, specialized gait patterns for any terrain. So to this end, we'll be using a mixture of experts. Each policy, so Wheelie will be able to access different policies for different terrain. So they will, Wheelie will be able to walk differently based on the type of terrain it encounters. So this allows all-terrain locomotion because it always has the most optimal gait policy for any given terrain. So methodology is we're going to train it in simulation using NVIDIA's Isaac Gym to train deep reinforcement learning policies rapidly in parallel. Now, there is a second part to the AI component, which is using a supervised learning system to create a neural network to identify the type of terrain that Wheelie is encountering. Further testing simulations. So simulations are tested in both Isaac Gym and PyBullet to minimize sim to real gap by using the sim to sim gap as a model. So here are some preliminary results from October. 1 second. Let me turn up the video quality. So as you can see here, this is the training of Wheelie. As I mentioned before, the robots are trained using mass parallelism. So this, I believe, is 2048 robots training at the same time in sync in a, as you can see there, flat environment. Wheelie also has access to like rough terrain, with randomized terrain. Yeah. So this is the current results for the deep RL gait training. Oh, pardon me. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here's it might have been. Ooh, formatting. Yeah, sorry about that. So here are the results for the supervised learning portion. So as you can see on the left, we have the raw data. We have accuracy, loss training, and loss validation. So these are just general markers for AI like competency per se. And also on the left, accuracy. Accuracy is very important because this is how accurate is it at defining like what terrain is this. So this was done using this was trained using over 5 gigabytes of data. And as you can see, it has very promising results. It quickly achieved results of 100% accuracy and just like average accuracy of over 99%. So you can see here by the 1000th training iteration, it is already at over 99% accuracy with loss training and loss validation all being very low. So this is a very promising for our future. Yeah. So yeah, that concludes my presentation about Wheelie. So yeah. Now let's move on to the Massachusetts Artificial Intelligence Conference for high schoolers. This is a side project that I started a little while ago. So our mission is to bring together innovative minds in the field of AI to share and learn from each other. We provide opportunities for learning, inspiration, and networking, and to promote interest in AI and computer science. So our platform, we are headquartered in Boston. We offer annual conferences on leading AI topics. We are currently partnered with 7 school districts with more than 9,000 students, with more to come. I am the founder and president of Mike's, so I am passionate about AI and the ways it can be used to change the world. Yeah, so I do a lot of AI research, as seen in the previous slides. So I noticed a lack of accessible resources for like-minded students, and therefore I founded Mike's to inspire and connect kids. I'm passionate about that. Sorry, passionate about CS. So current progress. Let me just bring you out of this to here. So this is our platform. This is our website. So we currently have a event already planned out here for June 8th. If anyone would be interested in coming, please just we'll be releasing this to the public very soon. So just click here and register for the event. We currently have three confirmed speakers with one currently in the works. So we have Victor Tao, Technology Collaboration Partnership Manager at Futureway Technologies, Raymond Liu, UMass Professor and Marketing Department Chair, and Sophie Xu, a undergraduate studying Supply Chain Management and Data Science at Michigan State University. So here's a brief about us. So we are a team of, here's the 2 founders. This is me and Serena. The advisors, Jamie Lee and Stephen Boardman, and our current founding management team of 8 people, and as well as our sponsors here. Yeah, so if anyone would be interested in joining our initiative, please feel free to go to mikes.wixsite.com/mikes to learn more, and contact us through the volunteering platform or the contact page. So challenges, we primarily face challenges such as finding speakers, emailing speakers, finding sponsors, and also finding an audience, right? So we are currently working on that as we speak. Yeah, so future growth, we started this project a little over a month ago. So we plan to host our first conference on June 8th. We have reached out to school teachers to obtain building use approvals and continuing speaker and sponsor and outreach, audience outreach. Okay, thank you all for listening, and yeah, that concludes my presentation.
William, that was absolutely wonderful. As a philosopher by trade, I can say you've completely blown my mind. And in the event that I have any major tech dreams, you're the person I'll be coming to have them actualized. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, so I just want to check if Alex Huang is here. I know there are some of these boxes I don't recognize. Okay, so we're going to wrap up for today. I am completely in awe and full of respect for all of the students that we saw today. Each one of these projects is enviable. It's absolutely what we hope our students can, find the time and motivation to do. So thank you to our presenters for being a paragon of what students can achieve, with the right mentorship and the right mindset. All of our current Lil students can absolutely learn from you. And we hope that you'll stay engaged with the Lil program, even as you're off doing, all of your fantastic accomplishments. Don't forget about us and always reach in and let us know how you're doing, because we love to see your work. Thank you, everyone who presented, and thank you to the audience. We will pick back up tomorrow at the same time as we did today to see our next set of projects. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.